Hello everybody and welcome to Yahya Sulaiman YouTube English channel. Today we are going to talk about the IGCSE English as a Second Language or writing exercises recap. The first writing exercise is the summary. The summary is a formal writing with 1 to 2 paragraphs, 16 marks awarded, 100 to 120 words required. We start with writing no title. It's one paragraph. 2 is acceptable sometimes. The intro can be the first point, a statement of the prompt, or both. This is a formal writing. We need to use sentence starters, conjunctions. No short forms or idioms are required. The points mentioned in the exercise can be reorganized, or it's up to you. You use the order mentioned in the text. You need to write 8 to 10 points. 16 marks are awarded, as we mentioned before, 8 for content, 8 for structure. The word limit is 100 to 120. You need to finish this in 15 to 20 minutes. Don't forget to revise and pay attention to your handwriting. The next exercise is the email. The email is an informal exercise with 4 paragraphs required, 16 marks awarded, 150 to 200 words. You start with dear plus the first name. You can use any of the memorized intros, like I can't wait to tell you. The intro should be short, vague, full of emotions. You write 3 body paragraphs. These body paragraphs address the question heading requirements or any extra ideas of your own. In the end, you need to give a reason to leave or end that should be related to the email topic. Then you finish with yours plus the first name. This is an informal writing with friendly register. Don't forget to write an idiom. The following exercise is the report. The report is a formal exercise with 4 paragraphs, 16 marks, 150 to 200 words. We start with an underlined short title. In the intro, you need to tell who did what, when, where, why, or how if relevant. You need to mention the aim or the purpose of the report is to do what. You write 2 body paragraphs that address the question heading requirements plus your own ideas. In the conclusion, you need to mention your opinion, your suggestion or recommendation for improvement or a different action required. Next, the book review. The book review is a formal writing exercise with 4 paragraphs, 16 marks, 150 to 200 words. You start with a title and underline it. In the intro, you need to tell the name of the book, the author, an initial impression about it, then a brief description of the book genre. In the body, you write 2 body paragraphs. In the first body, you give a brief summary of the plot events without telling the end. In body 2, you give an opinion about the book with detailed reasons. In the conclusion, you give a recommendation for whom or what age group and why. You need to pay attention that the differences between the book and the film reviews are in the related vocabulary. The film review. The film review is also a formal writing exercise with 4 paragraphs, 16 marks, 150 to 200 words. We start with an underlined title. In the intro, you tell the name of the film, the stars, the director, initial impression about it, followed by a brief description of the film story or genre. You write 2 body paragraphs. In the first body, you write a brief summary of the film plot events without telling the end. In body 2, you give an opinion about the film with detailed reasons. In the conclusion, you recommend the film for whom, what age group, and why. Of course, again, the differences between the film and the book reviews are in the related vocabulary. The place review. The place review is a formal exercise with 4 paragraphs required, 16 marks awarded, 150 to 200 words needed. We start with an underlined title. In the intro, you tell what the place is, who went there, any relevant background about the place, what you heard, or the initial impression about the place. You write 2 body paragraphs that speak about the place and how the experience there was. Don't forget that this is a formal writing format. In the conclusion, you give an opinion, suggestion, or recommendation for improvement or a different action. The next one is the event review. The event review is a formal writing with 4 paragraphs required, 16 marks awarded, 150 to 200 words needed. We start with a title. We need to underline it. In the intro, we start with, or we mention what the event was, who went there, any relevant background, what you heard, or the initial impression about the event. In the body, we write 2 body paragraphs that speak about the event and how the experience there was. This is a formal writing format. In the conclusion, you give an opinion and a suggestion or a recommendation for improvement or a different action required. The restaurant review. The restaurant review is also a formal writing with 4 paragraphs needed, 16 marks awarded, 150 to 200 words required. This is a formal writing, so we start with a title and we underline it. In the intro, we say what the restaurant is, especially the food specialty, who went there, any relevant background, what you heard, or the initial impression about the restaurant. In the body, we write 2 body paragraphs that speak about the restaurant and how the experience there was. This is a formal writing format. In the conclusion, you give an opinion and a suggestion or recommendation for improvement or a different action. Pay attention that the restaurant review is different from the place review in terms of describing the menu, music, decoration, waiters, costumes, ambience. The Gadget review. The Gadget review is a formal writing exercise with 4 paragraphs, 16 marks, 150 to 200 words. We start with an underlined short title. The intro, you write what the device is, the reason for buying or reviewing such a device, and you give an initial impression. Please avoid brands. In the body, you write 2 body paragraphs that address the characteristics and specifications of this gadget. You take an attitude either with or against from the beginning. In the conclusion, you give an opinion, suggestion, or recommendation for improvement or a different action. The website review is also a formal exercise with 4 paragraphs, 16 marks, 150 to 200 words. You write a title and underline it. In the intro, you tell what the website is, reasons for using or reviewing or browsing the website, give an initial impression about the site. In the body, you write 2 body paragraphs that address the characteristics, specifications, or services given by the site. Take an attitude either with or against from the beginning. In the conclusion, you give an opinion, suggestion, or recommendation for improvement or a different action. The articles. As we mentioned before, the articles are divided into 2 types, the one-sided or the two-sided. In the one-sided, you start with the title, you underline it. The intro starts with a question or a general statement followed by a topic sentence and then the opinion. In the body, you write 3 body paragraphs. Body 1 supports the opinion, body 2 supports the opinion too, body 3 mentions the opposite opinion or the counter opinion, plus the refutation. Refutation means it's a proof that the opposite side is not correct or is not supported. In the conclusion, you restate or summarize the main ideas and then mention your opinion. On the other side, the two-sided article starts with an underlined title, then the intro begins with a question or a general statement, followed by a topic sentence or the background sentence, then the thesis statement that is a general sentence mentions both sides. In the body, you write two body paragraphs. The first body supports one of the sides, body 2 supports the other side. In the conclusion, you restate and summarize the main ideas and you give your opinion supporting or outweighing one of the sides over the other. So, as we can see here, the major difference between the one-sided and the two-sided is the number or the place of mentioning my opinion. Here are the specifications of the article that are shared with other formal exercises. It's 150 to 200 words. This is a formal writing format, so no short forms like isn't or aren't, and no idioms. We need to use different conjunctions, and we need to vary the types of sentences. Sentence starters must be used like first, second, in addition, and do not repeat anything. Any ideas, any words, any phrases, any clauses. It's preferably to use simple tenses, present tense, past tense, or future tense, or it's up to you to use the rest of the rules. And don't forget to revise. Here are some signal words that can help you. These are the signal words that can help in description, expressing cause and effect, compare and contrast, problem solution, asking questions and answers, giving sequence. Another group of connecting words that express opinion, like in my opinion, I believe that, or the words that present or contrast opinions, like it is often said that, first of all, apart from that. Here are some words that present and contrast opinions, like and, or, but, finally, lastly. Here are some words that express reasoning, like because of, as a result of, and some words that show the meaning of conclusion, to sum up, to conclude. Here are some argumentative verbs that can be used instead of saying, say, and tell. For those who always repeat the same word over and over, you can use claim, assert, insist, argue. In the end, guys, thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to Yahya Sulaiman YouTube English channel. Share the video with all your colleagues. Visit yahyasulaiman.com for more practice and exercises. Thank you.